President Joe Biden has reportedly now taken to referring to Donald Trump as convicted felon in private events, most recently telling a group of donors that something happened in 2020 with the election where Trump snapped. And that's a direct quote. NBC News reports Biden calls Trump a convicted felon who snapped after the 2020 election. The president also called Trump, who was found guilty last week, quote, unhinged. This is all from an event in Greenwich, Connecticut. What a nice place. Where Biden said, quote, for the first time in American history, a former president that is a convicted felon is seeking the office of the presidency. But as disturbing as that is, more damaging is the all-out assault Donald Trump is making on the American system of justice. You know, I like this. And I know that there are people on different sides with regard to what involvement, if any, even as far as discussing it, should Joe Biden have in the criminal trials and tribulations of Donald Trump. I liked early on that Biden didn't comment on Trump's criminal trials. And in fact, there were a lot of right-wing media types on Fox News and elsewhere who were upset. Biden's the president. He's not going to say anything. Well, hold on a second. I thought you didn't want Biden involved. They both were saying Biden is involved by directing these prosecutions. And at the same time, he's not even willing to say a word about the fact that they're prosecuting a former president. I liked the fact that he wasn't talking about it. But I believe that now talking about Trump as convicted felon is smart. And I hope he starts to do it publicly rather than just in private fundraisers, because it really, listen, there is the effect that it will have sort of generically on voters. Do I want to vote for a convicted felon or not? And it is true that there are some MAGA types who are at least saying, I'm energized by this. I'm more likely to vote for Donald Trump now that he has been criminally convicted, because now I have proof that the justice system has been weaponized against him, and so on and so forth. But there's another aspect to this. When Biden says he's a convicted felon and he snapped in 2020, he, in a sense, is providing cover for Republicans who voted Trump in 2020 to be able to give themselves permission to say, you know what? It's okay that I don't vote for Trump this time. I'm not betraying my country. I'm not even necessarily betraying the Republican Party. It's just that he snapped. The 2020 election broke him. His cognition, something has declined dramatically since the 2020 election. He looks terrible. He sounds terrible. He's not making any sense. He's openly aspiring to become an autocrat and an authoritarian and a dictator wannabe. It's okay for me to vote for someone different, even though I see myself as a Republican. So I'm not saying that all of that is going to happen just by Biden saying he's now a convicted felon and he snapped after 2020. But one of the things we've talked about extensively when it comes to deprogramming cult members, getting people out of a cult, is you don't want to humiliate and attack them for the fact that they are in the cult and say, you're pathetic, get out of this cult. One of the most important things is to create an environment of empathy and welcoming where they feel like, hey, you know what? If I do make a different choice, if I do get out, if I choose to leave the dear leader and vote for someone else, I'm going to be welcomed rather than made fun of and told I told you so. This is so critical to getting people out of cults. And whatever little effect Joe Biden can have on that by saying he snapped in 2020. I get it. There's Republicans. We have different views about taxes. We have different views about foreign policy and education. Fine. But he snapped in 2020 and he's dangerous and he's a convicted felon now. We can't put him back in. If it even takes a little slice of Republicans and gets them to say, I'm still a Republican, I'm going back to the Republican Party in 2028, but I'm giving myself license this time not to vote for the guy, then I believe that it is a good idea. Let me know what you think. info@davidpakman.com. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Have you seen these people search sites? It's a big data privacy problem in the United States because they publish detailed personal profiles on millions of Americans online for anyone to see. And it is crazy. They can show your address, your internet activity, license plate number, even your political or religious beliefs. Government agencies like the FBI and NSA even buy this data to potentially use against you. Our sponsor, Incogni, is the affordable service that will send automatic data removal requests to these data brokers who are required by law to comply. Incogni even follows up with the data brokers to make sure your data is permanently gone, and Incogni keeps you updated every step of the way. I use it myself. It is remarkable what they can get done for you. I barely get any spam and robocalls anymore, and these data broker lists are where they're usually getting that information. That alone makes Incogni worth it. And my audience gets 60% off. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is down below.